There is much to be skeptical of in this world, so it no longer surprises me to learn how many people don't really believe in anything. What's the point? For many of us, the road is a difficult one, but the path is always there for us to follow, no matter how many times we may fall. The good news is that we can help you find your way back. Naturally, some days are harder than others, but I must try. We all have doubts. The light of the mind alone cannot burn away all darkness. Think on it, and look in your heart. It will be for the best. When the walls come tumbling down, when you lose everything you have, you always have family. The fire that had kept me alive was love. Their love. God's love. Right. You're not so certain. Fair enough. We all go through periods of darkness. Of course. In a world filled with misery and uncertainty, it is a great comfort to know that, in the end, there is light in the darkness. In such times we can turn to the Lord, but it's good to have friends. And the good Lord knows there's much to be done here. You're a good neighbor to us. Thank you. Until then, God be with you.
Only when the last tree has been cut down, the last fish been caught, and the last stream poisoned, will we realize we cannot eat money. There are two wolves fighting inside all of us. The first one is evil. The second one is good. Which wolf will win? It's the one you feed. When you were born, you cried and the world rejoiced. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. It is better to have less thunder in the mouth and more lightning in the hand. Listen, or your tongue will make you deaf. Seek wisdom, not knowledge. Knowledge is of the past. Wisdom is of the future. The weakness of the enemy makes our strength. Do not judge your neighbor until you walk 2 moons in his moccasins. They are not dead who live in the hearts they leave behind. There is nothing as eloquent as a rattlesnake's tail. It is less of a problem to be poor than to be dishonest. A brave man dies but once, a coward many times. Make my enemy brave and strong, so that if defeated I will not be ashamed. The bird that has eaten cannot fly with the bird that is hungry. Cherish youth, but trust old age. Wisdom comes only when you stop looking for it and start living the life the Creator intended for you. Not every sweet root gives birth to sweet grass. Take only what you need and leave the land as you found it. It is no longer good enough to cry peace. We must act peace, live peace, and live in peace. When a man moves away from nature, his heart becomes hard. Beware of the man who does not talk and the dog that does not bark. Our pleasures are shallow. Our sorrows are deep. It does not require many words to speak the truth. Don't let yesterday use up too much of today. If a man is as wise as a serpent, he can afford to be as harmless as a dove. Poverty is a noose that strangles humility and breeds disrespect for God and man. Remember that your children are not your own, but are lent to you by the Creator. Walk lightly in the spring. Mother Earth is pregnant. Ask questions from your heart, and you will be answered from the heart. There is no death. Vengeance is an emotion that can have a powerful impact on our lives. It is the feeling of wanting to take revenge for a perceived wrong or injustice. We may feel this emotion when someone has hurt us, or when someone has done something wrong to us or our loved ones. It can be an intense emotion, and it can drive people to do things they would not normally do. Today I'm going to tell you how vengeance affects our lives, and how it can have both positive and negative consequences. I will also share ways of dealing with vengeance in order to prevent it from leading to destructive outcomes in your life. We all experience anger and resentment in our lives, but it can be difficult to identify the source of these feelings. Knowing the source of your anger and resentment is essential for understanding yourself better and managing your emotions. It can help you to develop healthier coping strategies for dealing with difficult situations. Forgiveness is a powerful tool to move on from the past. It helps us to let go of grudges, heal emotional wounds, and create a healthier environment for ourselves. Learning to forgive can be hard, but it is an essential part of our journey towards personal growth and happiness. Forgiveness allows us to release negative emotions such as anger, resentment, and bitterness, so that we can move forward in life with a renewed sense of purpose and optimism. It also enables us to build stronger relationships with others by restoring trust and understanding between people. By learning how to forgive, we are able to create more meaningful connections with those around us and live a more fulfilled life overall. Self-compassion and self-love are essential to living a fulfilled and balanced life. Practicing self-compassion is the key to developing a healthy relationship with yourself, which can help you navigate difficult emotions and life experiences. Self-compassion involves recognizing our shared humanity, being kind to ourselves in moments of suffering, and understanding that imperfection is part of life. This practice can help us remain resilient despite challenges we may face. Self-love involves accepting ourselves for who we are, flaws and all, without judgment or comparison. It also helps us cultivate positive feelings about ourselves so we can live with greater joy and purpose. Through self-compassion and self-love, we can learn to better understand our own needs and give ourselves the care we deserve. Stress and anxiety can be overwhelming, but it is possible to find healthy ways to cope with them. By understanding the underlying causes of stress and anxiety, we can develop strategies to help manage our emotions and thoughts. We can also look for ways to reduce stress in our lives by taking time for self-care, practicing mindfulness, and engaging in activities that bring us joy. With the right tools and techniques, we can learn how to better manage our stress levels and create a healthier lifestyle. Having a positive mindset is essential for living a fulfilling and meaningful life. It can help you to stay focused on your goals and make progress towards them. It can also help you to overcome obstacles and difficult situations that come up in life. Developing a positive mindset is not easy, but it is possible with dedication and hard work. By changing your attitude, thoughts, and beliefs, you can learn to view life from a different perspective. Don't lie to yourself. The man who lies to himself and listens to his own lie comes to a point that he cannot distinguish the truth within him or around him, and so loses all respect for himself and for others. And having no respect, he ceases to love. The insolence of time is like a blow in the face from an unseen enemy. I think schools generally do an effective and terribly damaging job of teaching children to be infantile, dependent, intellectually dishonest, passive, and disrespectful to their own developmental capacities. Contempt for happiness is usually contempt for other people's happiness, and is an elegant disguise for hatred of the human race. Disrespect for life is a direct reflection of violating the laws of the kingdom of love. When you tolerate disrespectful people, you disrespect yourself. If you have the tendency to repress your anger, you have lost touch with an important part of yourself. Getting angry is a way to gain back that part of yourself by asserting your rights, expressing your displeasure with a situation, and letting others know how you wish to be treated. It can motivate you to make needed changes in a relationship or other areas of your life. Finally, it can let others know that you expect to be respected and treated fairly. Sometimes what you see of a person is only what they want you to see. But if you disrespect that part, you will see all of you. Ideological differences are no excuse for rudeness. As long as you look for someone else to validate who you are by seeking their approval, you are setting yourself up for disaster. You have to be whole and complete in yourself. No one can give you that. You have to know who you are. What others say is irrelevant. If we as a people realized the greatness from which we came, we would be less likely to disrespect ourselves. Shame, blame, disrespect, betrayal, and the withholding of affection damage the roots from which love grows. Love can only survive these injuries if they are acknowledged, healed, and rare. If we have no respect for our viewers, then how can we have any respect for ourselves and what we do? Rudeness luxuriates in the absence of self-respect. Throughout life, people will make you mad, disrespect you, and treat you bad. Let God deal with the things they do, cause hate in your heart will consume you too. A lack of appreciation and respect can be a sad end to many wonderful relationships. A man who goes into a restaurant and blatantly disrespects the servers shows a strong discontent with his own being. Deep down, he knows that restaurant service is the closest thing he will ever experience to being served like a king. I would never disrespect any man, woman, chick, or child out there. We're all the same. What goes around comes around, and karma kicks us all in the butt at the end of the day. True irreverence is disrespect for another man's God. If you can't ignore an insult, top it. If you can't top it, laugh it off. And if you can't laugh it off, it's probably deserved. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Intelligence arouses fear and respect. The lack of it keeps one on the narrow-minded road of disrespect, stupidity, and inferiority complex. Those who make hostility a daily manner are often left in the lurch at difficult times. Good manners are appreciated as much as bad manners are abhorred. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great ones make you feel that you too can become great. Arrogance, disrespect, and demand have higher price. Kindness, respect, and tact give better prize. If they disrespect you to your face, imagine what they're doing behind your back. If you tolerate disrespectful behavior, it will get worse over time. No matter what the reason, if you start to scream and shout, you look a fool, and you feel a fool. And you earn the disrespect of everyone. Treat people like people. Beware of pity and patronization, because in them, you can't see when you're unashamedly looking down on someone. If you can't ignore an insult, top it. If you can't top it, laugh it off. And if you can't laugh it off, it's probably deserved. You don't have to disrespect and insult others simply to hold your own ground. If you do, that shows how shaky your own position is. If you do not respect your own wishes, no one else will. You will simply attract people who disrespect you as much as you do. Don't take things personally, but don't condone disrespect. Never be bullied into silence. Never allow yourself to be made a victim. Accept no one's definition of your life, but define yourself. Our disrespect for thinking. Someone sitting in a chair, gazing out of a window blankly, always described as doing nothing. Abusive language and swearing are a legacy of slavery, humiliation, and disrespect for human dignity, one's own and that of other people. The way to avoid imputation of impudence is not to be ashamed of what we do, but never to do what we ought to be ashamed of. We strongly condemn any disrespect to human bodies, regardless of whether they are those of enemies or friends. Disrespect adheres to the ignorant, like wet leaves breathed on cold skin. Do not be threatened by rude people, because rudeness is a sign of insecurity. There is an insolence which none but those who themselves deserve contempt can bestow, and those only who deserve no contempt can bear. If you can't treat me like I'm someone important, then please don't disrespect me. We disrespect ourselves and our free will whenever we say that we need to do something. The wrong person will make you feel unwanted, unappreciated, unloved, and they will make you feel like an option. The right person will have you feeling wanted, appreciated, loved, and they will have you feeling like a priority. I never make the mistake of arguing with people for whose opinions I have no respect. Discomfort is understandable. It's the rudeness that isn't. Now I feel like whatever I do, no one can hurt me. I cannot be violated, I cannot be humiliated, I cannot be disregarded, I cannot be disrespected. Life is too short to waste your time on people who don't respect, appreciate, and value you. People disrespect you for two reasons: to gain your respect towards them, and to bargain your trust towards them. Being brilliant is no great feat if you respect nothing. Men are respectable only as they respect. A little rudeness and disrespect can elevate a meaningless interaction to a battle of wills and add drama to an otherwise dull day. I believe if you are nice to people, your children will follow. Likewise, if you are rude to people, children will follow the same. Never make excuses for someone who disrespects you. Who they are, or what they do, isn't a pass to treat you like trash. There cannot be greater rudeness than to interrupt another in the current of his discourse. When people respect one another, seldom is there honesty. People who love themselves don't hurt other people. The more we hate ourselves, the more we want others to suffer. Pay no attention to toxic words. What people say is often a reflection of themselves, not you. Real love moves freely in both directions. Don't waste your time on anything else. Disrespect is tired. Shade is old. Sipping tea isn't cute. But loving, supporting, giving, being grateful, and perpetuating light is. Love is a reason for so many things, but not to tolerate disrespect and abuse. Let love be the force that heals you from a bad relationship. not what keeps you in. I see so many young men today who feel alone and insecure. Maybe they didn't have a father in their lives, or he was present but really wasn't there. So many young men fall for these pickup artist scams or believe that if you aren't tall or don't have a certain jaw type or voice, that they cannot get women. While there is some truth to these factors, they rarely play as big of a role as you might think. I'm going to give you some genuine advice, free of charge, that I guarantee will increase your chances if followed correctly. Some of these tips may feel insulting or even personal. I assure you they are not. My advice comes from the heart and from experience. To begin, how do you present yourself? What clothing are you wearing? How does your skin look? Is your hair messy? Clothing wrinkled? Do you wear baggy clothes because you don't have confidence in your body? I see many men trying to get into more modern fashion, but they never wear clothes that fit their bodies. Or they wear shirts with logos that have pictures of characters, movie names, artists, or memes. This is cringe. No woman wants a boy who's wearing a shirt with a Marvel logo on it, or Bob Marley. Those are for teenagers, not adults. A plain white or black t-shirt tucked in if you prefer, a good pair of jeans that fit you, a belt that matches your shoes, and some decent kicks are more than enough. If the weather permits, a jacket can really make the outfit come together. Measure your face and find a haircut style that matches your face shape. If you cannot grow facial hair and don't have a good jawline, do not fret over it. Women are much less visual creatures than men. It is much more about conviction, confidence, and mostly the ability to make that woman feel good when around you. This is something many men don't understand. Hypergamy is real, but it's not as simple as just money or physical prowess. She wants to have a good time when with you, and she wants a male that she feels will increase her chances of security and a good life down the line. While this may seem unfair to most men, we want similar things, just different outcomes. Stop viewing women as some goddess or saint from the heavens. She is just a person. She has the same bodily needs and processes as you, with some deviation. She feels fear, she cries, she feels insecure, she feels sexual desire, and she feels the desire to be loved as much as you. How to achieve that, and to what degree is the major difference between our sexes? You don't need pickup lines or cold approaches. Stop viewing it all as some game. Just walk up to a woman with a genuine question, talk to her and view it as practice. No intention to get her number, and no intention to have sex with her. You are simply practicing talking. Women are very skilled at picking up on bullshit when it comes to men's intentions. Body language is a dead giveaway. Even if a woman is not consciously aware, she will feel it instinctually. Set your mind right. Pretend you are acting out a scene or play. Relax and have fun. There are millions of women, and not all of them will like you, even if you were a 6'4" Giga Chad. Don't sell yourself short. Speaking of practice, many men are so brainwashed by pornography and media. They think they need a woman who is cute, hot, or something along those lines. Start with women who look like they were hit with the ugly stick. Practice talking with them. Practice dating them. Practice sex with them if you choose. Don't simply use these women. Enjoy the time and try and make their lives better through your treatment and attention to them. You may be surprised to learn that looks fade. We all get saggy, old, and decrepit. Women do not usually age as gracefully as men, so marrying for looks or sex is like buying a broken-down car with a new paint job. Look for the values in a woman, future goals, and mostly how her actions align with those goals. Also, men, for the love of God, stop talking so much on dates or interactions. Women love talking about themselves. They are expressive creatures. Let the woman talk. When she asks you a question, keep it short and sweet. Then ask her another question. She will like you much more and feel good around you. This next tip is one that if I ever catch you breaking, I will personally pay you a visit and hit you in the shin with a razor scooter. Do not, and I mean do not, text back women too quickly. When you do this, you are signaling that you don't have anyone else talking to you, that you are desperate, and that you are needy. Take at least 5 to 10 minutes to respond when talking to a new female. With some variation, of course. Girlfriends are a different story usually. If a woman does not respond or talk to you for some time, and this occurs frequently, I suggest you move on, no matter how into her you are. She is not interested in you. This next piece of advice is sure to trigger some of you, but I don't really care. Stop being so obsessed with cartoons and anime. I don't care if the girl is some nerd or gamer girl or whatever. It is almost always a trap, and she will not respect you. Imagine a girl goes into your apartment or room and sees anime posters and Funko Pop dolls or other various toys. Do you think that will make her wet? Interested? Intrigued? No. She will see you as immature and not worth her time. This may not be apparent at first, but it will reveal itself in time. I am not here to judge you on your choices. Some anime are pieces of art, but keep it private and ease it into your relationship over time. Or not at all. Women mimic what is popular or what they think will get men's attention. Do you think women wear makeup because they want to? No, it's usually to get attention from men or to cover up something they are insecure about. Pretending to like male things is no different. On another note, pay attention to what you smell like. I don't just mean body odor, I mean what kind of deodorant or cologne do you use? Axe body spray. You might as well tell her you are a serial killer. Faint but pleasant smells pull a woman closer. It is sensual and it is almost mysterious. Smells trigger emotional responses and memories more than most people realize. Use good detergent, a decent soap, and use real cologne. You don't need to spend hundreds of dollars on this. Most of that stuff is mostly paint thinner anyways. Spray a little on your wrists and rub it gently on your neck. If more is needed, spray a cloud in front of you and walk into it. Don't spray it right onto your shirt like some goober. Well, I could give more advice, but I think I have said enough for now. I wish you all the best, and I know there is someone out there for you. A man's true greatness is measured not by the amount of riches he holds, but by his moral character and the impact he leaves on others in a positive way. Having the motivation to keep going is one of the most important gifts given to humankind. Even if you can't soar like an eagle, then take it step by step, running, walking, and even crawling if necessary. The main point, though, is that you don't give up and keep striving ahead. Everyone struggles with insecurity, so don't feel like you're alone in this. Don't let your doubts and anxieties hold you back from reaching your goals. Believe in yourself and strive to do the best that you can do. Don't aim for perfection, as it is impossible to reach. It's important to be proud of who you are and how far you have come. Don't deny yourself the opportunity to make mistakes, as it is an essential part of learning and growing as a person. Fear of not succeeding can prevent you from ever starting something new. It's important to look at your work critically, but without self-criticism that could lead to discouragement or regret. Focus on what you can do now and remain hopeful for the future. When you're feeling drained, it's easy to get down on yourself. Try not to worry about how others see you, but instead, focus on the kind of person you want to be. You can only build your self-belief by tackling challenges that are out of your comfort zone. It's never too late to turn things around and make a fresh start. We all stumble and make mistakes at some points in our life, but the important part is not to give up and keep trying. Acquiring knowledge and learning will grant you power, but it's your character that earns you respect. When you learn to accept any situation without resistance, a sense of inner peace will follow. Lonely time is also essential for a man to become whole, no matter what life throws at you. Making your own decisions and taking accountability for the outcomes is what truly defines the best of yourselves. Don't rely on external forces to dictate your future. Make sure you're in control and don't blame others if something goes wrong. After all, you have the power to determine your own destiny. Being a good person starts with the understanding of others' problems and their hardships. Contentment is essential for real happiness, and it's important to remember that life is too precious to waste it by worrying about small things. A man can demonstrate his strength and courage when he is true to himself, act with courage, and express his feelings honestly and passionately. To truly experience something new, you should try anything at least 3 times in your life. The first time is for overcoming the fear of trying. The second time to learn how to do it correctly, and then finally decide if you actually enjoying doing it. Difficult times don't last forever, but those who are resilient will endure them. People who make it through these times often benefit from their missteps and try again with a newfound perspective. Someone who has found success in life is usually the one who finds a way to use what others have said or done as solid plan. Those who have faced hardship are better able to appreciate and grow from his life's experiences. We all have the power to make our own decisions and shape our lives. No one else can do it for us. Having a good sense of self-worth means feeling in charge of our destiny, rather than feeling like every circumstance is out of our control. Persons of high caliber and ambition are often met with opposition from those with more mediocre ideals. A good man's prayers and dedication to goals can bring an abundance of blessings down upon them. Though it can be disheartening when certain opportunities pass, new ones are sure to come up. However, sometimes we may be so focused on what we had that we don't notice what else is out there. Therefore, it's important to stay motivated and strive to reach your dreams no matter the obstacles. Once you reach the top, you'll have a clearer understanding of the situation as well as all other possibilities. As human beings, it's important for us to be tough, yet tender. We all make mistakes, but it is these experiences that help shape us and make us more useful than if we just remain idle. Being able to accept our mistakes and learn from them is essential in order to grow as individuals. To my understanding, someone who is able to take fear and convert it into wisdom, turn pain into learning experience, regard errors as a way of growth, and make use of ambition to get things done. Feeling apprehensive about yourself and your capabilities is normal. Nevertheless, recognize how far you have come and the successes you have achieved. It's a sign of true greatness when one can prioritize work that is key over mere tasks that are needed to be done. Being able to conquer yourself is the greatest victory anyone can achieve. Having somebody you love and trust is an invaluable blessing. A person's true character is revealed not by how they conduct themselves in comfortable and easy circumstances, but rather in their actions during difficult times of challenge and controversies. Instead of focusing on trivial things, strive to engage in conversations and activities that will bring value to your soul. Tune out the negative influences and tune into things which will grow your inner self. Struggles and failures are an inevitable part of life. It is through those that one develops resilience and learns about himself. Though painful, these experiences can help you grow and become stronger. Life is not always pleasant to us, yet we must carry on. We must have resilience, self-belief, and never lose sight of our ambition and what we are truly capable of achieving. We're all capable of something great, even if it takes significant effort to attain. A man of strength should not demonstrate dominance over the weak. Instead, he should use his strength to conquer the world and rise above his struggles. Even if you fail, don't be discouraged. Keep trying and aim for better results each time. Everyone you come across matters and affects the lives of people around them, even those they haven't met. You leave a little piece of yourself with every relationship. In life, it's not all about having more money. It's about achieving freedom, having the autonomy to turn down opportunities and people that you don't feel comfortable with, and refusing to be a slave to expectations. Freedom can also be found in choosing when to say yes, and doing something that brings you happiness. Even when it might seem like all the hope is lost, oftentimes the most significant accomplishments are made by those that kept trying. Steer clear of people who try to put down your dreams and ambitions. Small-minded people do this for sure, but the truly great will make you believe that you too can be great. It's never too late to reach your goals and be who you want to be. People who think, and those who act upon their thoughts, are the ones that shape the world. On the other hand, those who only think but don't take action remain stagnant. They may believe they are doing something, but that is just a mere thought without any tangible results. Doing your duty is a form of self-sacrifice which ultimately brings you closer to perfection. Therefore, it's important to stay vigilant and be grounded in your convictions while tackling life's obstacles with courage and strength. Above all, let all your actions be a reflection of love. To truly master the world, you must first reign in yourself. Every hardship contains a chance to thrive and succeed. It's not admirable to be better than others, but rather to be better than you were before. Developing strength does not come from triumphing over someone else. It arises from overcoming personal difficulties and never giving up. True strength is born from struggle. To tackle any difficulty, you can choose to either modify the difficulty or modify yourself accordingly. Courage isn't necessarily being strong enough to continue. It is having the willpower to keep going, even when you feel weak. People who strive to be better, even if they have done bad things in the past, are respectable. It takes a lot of courage and persistence to hold on and keep going despite hardships. You should be proud of yourself for overcoming your fears and anxiety while still making progress. You deserve recognition for that. Hard work is necessary for achieving success. It should be prioritized ahead of everything else. As the saying goes, the only place success comes before work is in the dictionary. Making mistakes is inevitable, but that doesn't make you a failure. In difficult times, you get to know yourself the best and how to come out of it stronger. Having a positive mindset can empower you to achieve great things. Contentment, achievement, and inner harmony are all within reach. Believing in yourself and your capabilities is an important step towards success. It's also essential to keep a positive attitude and focus on the brighter aspects of life, as it will help you manifest your desires. Furthermore, strength does not come from being forceful, but rather from being compassionate. If you're finding yourself in a difficult situation caused by a mistake or failure, take the time to learn from it, and then begin your journey again by taking that first step. Dedication to achieving our goals is the key to unlocking our true potential, not the physical strength or mental acumen. Making the right decision is always best in any given moment. Even if something doesn't go as planned, don't be afraid to start over and try again. You may be surprised with what you can accomplish with the pieces that remain after something has fallen apart. Don't strive to be someone successful. Aim to be someone of value instead. Most people tend to think too much and stay within their comfort zone. Set yourself apart by being different and taking risks. Don't worry about being perfect. Just focus on trying your best and succeeding. Everyone has to put in hard work and dedication continuously to succeed. Difficulties can help you become stronger, and the key quality of an exceptional person isn't being untroubled from the struggles of life, but rather how they were able to overcome them. Accepting that life is fleeting can help to free a wise individual. When tackling arduous tasks, sometimes it can be beneficial to break them up into smaller, more manageable goals. Your mindset and outlook on life will largely determine how successful you become. Keeping God's promise in your heart and in your actions can lighten even the darkest of problems. It's not possible to directly teach someone something. Instead, you can provide them with the necessary tools to uncover an answer. Believe in yourself and your abilities. Be brave and courageous. Remember that we are all in this together, and working as a team is of utmost importance. Work hard with dedication, determination. Let nature take its course for the rest of it. When you bring harmony into your life, you can also find it in the world around you. You are exactly what is required, being a wiser and kinder person, instead of someone who follows worn-out stereotypes. Don't let failure define you. It's just an event, not who you truly are. Remember that there is nothing beyond fear if we don't let it control us. Therefore, strive for truth rather than settling for comfort. When you worry too much about imagined dangers, you create real ones for yourself. At some point, it is more painful to stay cocooned in one's comfort zone than to take the risk of stepping out and blossoming. Don't let difficult people take up space in your head. It takes courage to confront a situation head-on and work through it, and this strength is what can make you grow. Ultimately, it is your attitude towards the circumstance that will determine how successful you are. Don't be ashamed of your missteps. Try to gain something from them and keep pushing forward. Life isn't meant to be easy. Strive to become a strong individual instead of expecting an effortless journey. People are more likely to trust in those who have faith in themselves. Remember that an honorable person never does anything only to look good, but instead for the sake of doing right. The only thing stopping you from achieving your goals is your fear. Strength, kindness, and an openness to life are much more telling traits than physical appearances when it comes to a handsome man. All men take pride in themselves. The only differentiation is how they express it. Push yourself to new limits and be kind while doing it. Doing so will bring out the best in you, and with self-acceptance. Despite our attempts to remain rational, Emotions often have a greater impact on decision-making than we realize. We may think we are in control of every aspect of our life, but emotional responses and desires can significantly influence our behavior and cause us to favor ideas that make us feel comfortable or proud. Such people often follow their preconceived notions, which can lead to them making wrong decisions and become trapped in a never-ending cycle of misery. They tend to only search for information that reaffirms their belief and disregard anything that contradicts it. This bias prevents them from accurately interpreting new evidence and situation around them, thus leading to bad decisions. Practicing rational thinking can be difficult, but it is a powerful skill to acquire. It helps us to objectively evaluate situations and better understand what's really happening beyond our emotions. Rationality doesn't come easily, but with consistent effort, we can unleash our highest potentials. Although it is believed that modern society is based on logic and reason, in reality, a lot of our decisions are based on our emotional responses. As emotional creatures, humans are more likely to make decisions based on emotion rather than logic, which can often lead to irrational choices. Since the 5th century BC, individuals have strived to be rational and succeeded. The renowned Athenian politician Pericles is credited for setting an example of rationality by advocating for it. During this time period, Athens faced the imminent threat of an attack from Sparta that was spread in rumors. Pericles advocated for the use of moderation on the part of Athenian leaders, as opposed to launching a preemptive strike. He was aware that any aggressive action would spark off an all-out conflict, so his message was clear: keep a level head instead. Sadly, he passed away from the plague soon afterwards. Without being guided by logic, Athens was swayed heavily by emotion when making decisions. This ultimately led to conflict with Sparta and almost brought about the destruction of the city of Athens. Pericles was renowned for his exemplary patience, and by taking our cue from him, we can make well-informed decisions that are rational rather than getting carried away with emotions. He was a master of considering all the available options before zeroing in on one. He was firm in his conviction that decisions should be made with clear logic and sound reason, even if they went against the tide of public opinion or posed a challenge to those in power. As a result, he would take into account all relevant information before taking any course of action. Apart from the amount of time it takes for humans to make decisions, there are also other biases at play. Humans have an inclination towards making decisions that can be driven by cognitive biases. Looking for evidence to back up your existing beliefs and opinions can be a common practice. However, it's important to be open-minded and consider all sources of information before drawing any conclusions, which is called confirmation bias. We can be prone to thinking that our opinions are more accurate just because we have a greater emotional connection to the subject, which is called conviction bias. It isn't always true that people who appear attractive or affluent are necessarily good people. There can be many other qualities one should look out for to decide if someone is of a good character. This is called appearance bias. Well, here we does not suggest completely disregarding emotions and blindly believing what our in-group believes. Instead, the optimum solution would be to pair your thoughts with your feelings and give yourself time to make knowledgeable choices that are founded on facts, and this is known as group bias. Social media can easily create a whirlwind of emotions which can be hard to take in, especially with its constant presence. We need to take some time away from it all and process our thoughts calmly before reacting. As human beings, we often have a desire to shape others and make them different from how they really are. This can be very damaging and is a major source of pain and anguish for people. It's important to recognize that we cannot change people, no matter how hard we try. Only by accepting this will we begin to find contentment in our lives. Parents often threaten their children with punishment when they misbehave. Unfortunately, this does not fix the issue. Rather, it can teach children how to be better at avoiding getting caught. Such a strategy may prove ineffective in the long run and is not advisable. Acknowledging the fact that we are all unique and have different perspectives can help us reduce our frustration. Rather than aiming to alter people, understanding their beliefs and motives is far more effective. Accepting their differences is the key to developing a solid relationship with others. When engaging with someone trying to get a better understanding of their motives, take the time to truly listen and pick up on as many details as you can. People are usually more than willing to talk about themselves, so it shouldn't be too hard. Once you've acquired all the necessary information, step back, and thoroughly analyze it. By following these approaches, you'll be able to gain insight into the individual's needs and figure out ways to ensure their success. Our capacity for empathy can be useful in better comprehending the character of those around us. It may help us recognize whenever someone has created a persona or is wearing a mask to hide behind. This awareness is a valuable asset when trying to support someone in exhibiting their genuine self. Adversity often reveals one's true character. Through careful observation, we can get a better understanding of someone's personality when faced with challenging situations. Pursue to enhance your character. It's common for us to put on a mask and present ourselves favorably, even if it does not reflect reality. But striving for self-improvement requires removing the mask and embracing who you truly are. We are taught early on to go along with what our parents say so that we can experience various benefits. This is how our society functions, stressing the importance of teamwork and thoughtfulness. Consequently, any display of extreme feelings or acting selfishly is generally not accepted by our culture. Consequently, these behaviors are not implemented if we don't appreciate someone else, or if we just wish to look out for our own interests. We should take advantage of social media to create and show our ideal selves. By doing so, we can keep our insecurities hidden, and the world can be a better place. Furthermore, having a persona lets us protect ourselves from potential threats or harm. Thinking positively about our goals can help us feel connected to them and increase our chances of manifesting them in the future. Visualizing yourself as that person you want to become reinforces this belief, leading to better outcomes in the long run. We tend to focus on problems that can have more direct and noticeable effects, like terrorism, instead of taking into consideration those with more serious long-term consequences, like climate change. This is due to our innate evolutionary tendencies from the past. In the past, people were preoccupied with their day-to-day survival, which made them think only of the short term. Fortunately, this outlook is being replaced by an increased understanding of the need to plan for long-term sustainability and make decisions that can lead to a better future. It's important to explore all potential avenues when solving a problem and contemplate the consequences of not doing so. Taking a step back can be extremely beneficial, as it highlights how our current issues were likely caused by the lack of foresight in the past. Knowing this point can help us prioritize the most important issues so that we can tackle them more effectively. Oftentimes, once we've achieved success, our arrogance becomes a hindrance. We tend to be very full of ourselves and often fail to recognize the contributions of others. Robert mentions that humans have a natural inclination towards narcissism, and this varies in degree, from healthy levels to more extreme cases where people view other individuals as a part of themselves. Narcissism in children is often attributed to excessive parenting or lack of parental attention. Too much involvement from parents can stifle a kid's individuality, and too little focus can lead to low self-confidence. Surprisingly, deep narcissists lack the self-love often assumed to be related to narcissism. As a result, developing an understanding of and appreciation for yourself can be beneficial in managing healthier levels of narcissism. Achieving success is rarely an individual effort, and requires the help and guidance of others as well as a bit of luck. To keep ourselves grounded, it's important to remember how we got here. We must not let our gender define what we can or cannot accomplish in life. According to Robert Greene, it's important to be conscious of both our masculine and feminine characteristics and embrace them so that we can become well-rounded people. Famous personalities like David Bowie illustrated this perfectly by adopting a more feminine side in order to take advantage of all his strengths. Caterina Sforza, born of a powerful Italian dynasty in 1463, was known for her proficiency in both masculine and feminine activities. She studied martial arts as well as fashion and the arts, which enabled her to become a strong figure among those around her. According to the laws of human nature, our perspectives of male and female roles are rooted in both biology and society. Nevertheless, if we strive to embrace both sides, our interactions can be significantly strengthened. We should strive to gain the best attributes of both genders. Men have a knack for categorization, whereas women tend to look for interweaving patterns and links. By opening up to the feminine side of themselves, men can pick up greater comprehension and insight into how women think and feel. An ideal way to problem solve is to bring together multiple approaches. This can provide optimal results, particularly when working on complex issues. Refrain from succumbing to group mentality if it is decreasing your productivity. We often judge ourselves in comparison to others, and waste time worrying about what other individuals may have thought of us. It's essential to separate yourself from this type of behavior and focus on your own growth instead. When working as a team, there are definite benefits that come along. Everyone is focused on the same goal and can help each other stay motivated. However, it's also important to be aware of potential risks associated with group work. Being in a group setting can cause us to forget about our principles and core values. We start to mimic the behavior of those around us and lose our special qualities, including the ability to think outside of the box. Group settings can cause us to make decisions that are not always the best, as we often follow the crowd instead of thinking for ourselves. This leads to irrational choices that might not be in our best interests. It is important to remember to think things through logically before deciding when presented with group dynamics. Thus, it is essential for us to make sure to stay away from the group's trap. Individuals with a fragile persona would struggle more when attempting to break out of the grasp of the group. Some methods which can be used in order to elude the influence of a group are: maintaining objectivity and clarity of thought, even in the face of conflicting opinions, is key. Developing an internal sense of awareness while being involved in group settings is also essential. And lastly, staying focused on the present moment instead of getting distracted with thoughts and emotions can be beneficial. According to the laws of human nature, our perspectives of male and female roles are rooted in both biology and society. Nevertheless, if we strive to embrace both sides, our interactions can be significantly strengthened. We should strive to gain the best attributes of both genders. Men have a knack for categorization, whereas women tend to look for interweaving patterns and links. By opening up to the feminine side of themselves, men can pick up greater comprehension and insight into how women think and feel. An ideal way to problem solve is to bring together multiple approaches. This can provide optimal results, particularly when working on complex issues. Refrain from succumbing to group mentality if it is decreasing your productivity. We often judge ourselves in comparison to others and waste time worrying about what other individuals may have thought of us. It's essential to separate yourself from this type of behavior and focus on your own growth instead. When working as a team, there are definite benefits that come along. Everyone is focused on the same goal and can help each other stay motivated. However, it's also important to be aware of potential risks associated with group work. Being in a group setting can cause us to forget about our principles and core values. We start to mimic the behavior of those around us and lose our special qualities, including the ability to think outside of the box. Group settings can cause us to make decisions that are not always the best, as we often follow the crowd instead of thinking for ourselves. This leads to irrational choices that might not be in our best interests. It is important to remember to think things through logically before deciding when presented with group dynamics.